Hi, welcome to the Mindful Trace. I'm Anna. We are going to continue our journey of fear reflection from Eknath Easwaran. And I have a newbie here with me. He's going to learn about some fear too, which he's had to overcome fear in his life. So here we go. In the first two reflections, we talked about how fear narrows perception and how steadying the mind matters before we try to change the world. But there's another teaching from Easwaran that feels important too right now. He believed that every person, even the ones we disagree with, share the same human basic longing to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel valued. Oh, he tooted. You gotta see this. He doesn't like toots. They scare him. He's afraid of them. Is that your fear, newbie? He also wants to feel safe and feel seen. So every human has a basic human longing to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel valued. And when we forget that, something in us hardens. It becomes easier to label people, to reduce them to positions or categories, to stop being curious about their experience. And I understand why this happens. When emotions are strong and issues feel personal, it's easier to protect ourselves by simplifying the other's side. But Easwaran warned that when we dehumanize others, we damage something inside us too. Because the mind gets trained in separation, we start practicing othering, and whatever we practice grows. Remember, we talked about that in our last video. Now, this doesn't mean agreement. It doesn't mean abandoning values. It doesn't mean tolerating harm. Please understand that. It means remembering that behind every opinion is a nervous system shaped by experiences, by fear, and conditioning, just like ours. One of the things I've noticed on my own journey, especially after leaving the belief system I grew up with and in, is how easy it would have been to swing into resentment, to see people who still believe differently as a problem. And sometimes that temptation is still there. But when I slow down, I remember most people are doing the best they can with the information and fear they've inherited. That doesn't make everything right, but it does make it human. Easwaran deeply admired people who could stand firm without hatred, who would resist injustice without becoming and could letting bitterness consume them. That kind of strength doesn't come naturally. It comes from training the mind and pausing before labeling, to breathe before reacting, to look for humanity even when it feels difficult. And honestly, this is one of the hardest practices. It's easier to win arguments than to stay compassionate. It's easier to feel morally certain than to stay curious. But if division begins in the mind, then healing might begin there too. Seeing the humanity in someone doesn't mean surrendering your voice. It means speaking from a place that doesn't destroy your own peace in the process. And maybe that's the part of deeper work, not just changing systems, but refusing to let hatred reshape our nervous system. That's something I'm still learning, and probably always will be. If you've been following this series, thank you for sitting with these reflections. I have one more in this series coming soon. Until next time, stay kind.